Great choice of live action coming up for you tonight on Sky Sports 1 from 7:30. It's live Super League, Halifax against Wigan. On Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra next, live First Division football, Burnley against Preston. And coming up on Sky Sports 3, there is live Test cricket from Antigua, day 1 of the 4th Test between the West Indies and South Africa. Here on Sky Sports 2 and on Sky Sports Extra, we're live from Turf Moor. It's Burnley at home to Preston. Happiness wasn't something that Stan Turnip was feeling during last Sunday's battering at Blackburn.
Done. And it's got a deflection on its way through from Craig Short. And it's gone in off Davis. Janssen, and they're in dreamland now against their rivals. Janssen could get a ball, and does. It's goal number 5, and it's a rout.
Have a look at Friedel, and then have a look at Berg, Flitcroft, and have a look at the 2 strikers, and have a look at what is on the bench, and you'll probably find that it totals 20 million quid. That's about 7 years' budget for me.
Well, tonight, Stan needs to rally his shell-shot troops against another Lancashire enemy. Promotion-chasing Preston North End of the visitors, and with the likes of Jonathan Mackin capable of conjuring something from nothing, David Moyes' boys are going to take some stopping. Hard to know whether this is the best or worst possible fixture for Burnley 5 days on from Ewood. It's certainly going to be a test of character for Stan's side, and Preston will have arrived full of confidence, having won 4 of their last 5 away from home, drawing the other. We're live on Sky Sports 2 tonight with interactive coverage. Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra, channel 404. Going to work on Monday morning must have been a very week on a high and dent Preston's playoff push in the process, which would be an added bonus. Alongside Ray this evening is the Burnley striker Ronnie Jepson. Now, Ronnie, what's the atmosphere been like at the club this week?
It took some picking up on Monday morning, but the lads have been positive this week in training. The gaffer and Sam have been very positive, and we're looking forward to the game tonight. It's a big game. That's the sort of game we're looking forward to after what went on Sunday down the road. Yeah,
is it the perfect fixture, or do you not really want another derby game quite so quickly?
Yeah, it's another test for us, and that's what we've got in this division to do, and have these sort of games. So the lads are looking forward to it again. So, and I think we'll do okay.
We rather wrote off Burnley's playoff hopes after the defeat at Blackburn last weekend. Presumably, the team reckons they've still got some sort of a chance.
Well, we've been talking about it this week, and the gaff doesn't talk about playoffs and promotion and things like that. All he wants to do is accumulate as many points as we can the first time back in the league and see where it comes, and if that's these are playoffs, then we'll take it.
Do you think they can still get into the playoffs? Be honest with us.
Well, if we've got win tonight, definitely, and put an awful good run together. We wouldn't be one of the favourites to make it, but while there's a chance, we'll keep having a go.
The frustration for you has been the fact that you've been injured for so long. Now, what's the latest situation there?
Well, me and Lenny John Rose have just had a similar operation each on the Achilles, which puts us out for the season, so it's quite frustrating being on the side. So that's my and Lenny's season's gone, but we've also had other bad injuries like to Lee Briscoe, who's a key player for us. Graham Branch is out now, Mitchell Thomas, and we just haven't got the squad and depth sometimes to bring players in to replace Lee Briscoe and Graham Branch and Mitchell. So it's frustrating at times, but we knew that beginning of the season. And, we're on course to what we set out to do.
Now, Ray, what were you like after a heavy defeat? Did you tend to mope about the house for a few days afterwards?
You can't afford to, Marcus, because the next one comes upon you so quickly. You just got to get on with it. You get these defeats every now and then, but what makes it worse, it comes from a local rival, so the lads would have been very, very down. But you can't afford to let that get you down. You've got to pick yourself up and get on with the next one. And they've had a magnificent season, Burnley. They came up last year, and what they've achieved has been nothing short of fantastic. So anything now is a bonus for them, but they've got a very tough game tonight. Yeah,
Preston have had a pretty good run themselves in recent weeks. You've been doing your homework as usual, haven't you?
Oh, turn it up, Marcus. They've won 7 out of their last 10. In the previous 10, they'd lost 7. So it's turned it on its head. But I've got to say the lads have done remarkably well for David, because it's not easy. Once you've been promoted, you get in that bit of a rut where you can't win a game, then all of a sudden they've turned it on their head. They've done remarkably well.
There wasn't much of a welcome for Preston at Turf Moor a short time ago. They were actually locked out of their dressing room. Is this a deliberate tactic of Stan's, Ronnie?
No, no, it's nothing to do with Stan, I don't think. You'll have to have a word with the groundsman about that.
Well, they finally got in, and from the looks of things, Ray, they have a huge squad. Just looking at the numbers going through the door there.
Obviously, David's keeping his options open, Marcus, isn't he? He wants everybody there and to pick from a full squad. And I think it's quite nice, actually, when you've got all the guys going along together.
Well, a win for Preston tonight won't affect their league position, but they'd move to within a point of West Brom with a game in hand, and perhaps more importantly, it would open up a 6-point lead over Watford in 7th. Burnley are 11th at the moment, 9 points short of the playoffs, with only 8 games to go. Now, it is very important that the Burnley fans get behind their team tonight, and the club has to be applauded for its community work. The nationwide Season of Promise initiative, which encourages minority disadvantaged groups to attend games, has been taken very seriously at Turf Moor. Children are also encouraged to become fans at an early age. There's a lot of interaction between the youngsters and their heroes. Glenn Little was out and about this week, as was Paul Weller, and both proved very popular.
Paul Weller, born Brighton, 6th of March 1975. Burnley debut 2nd of November 1995. Carlisle. Player tips protein. Beans and meat contain lots of protein, which helps us to stay strong.
I will do. Shall I give these out first? And I'll do it.
Paul, first of all, I mean, how important is it that players try and put a bit back into the community?
I think it's very important, you know, because with a town like Burnley, they really do love their football.
Yeah.
And, you know, to promote the club as much as we can, and, you know, the kids really do appreciate what we do and try and teach them, as you know, what we know.
Glenn, is it something the players enjoy doing, do you think?
Yeah, we do quite a lot of it. I think, as Paul said, it's a small town, but football's very much a part of it, and the kids love to see us. I don't know why, but yeah, they enjoy it.
I mean, I don't know if we want to talk about this, but should we get back onto football matters now, or should we stay with the kids, Glenn?
Stay with the kids, I think, yeah.
I mean, generally, it's another big game coming up, isn't it? But is it fair to say you were taught 1 or 2 lessons yourselves last Sunday against Blackburn?
Yeah, I think the way the game went, it was very hard for us, and we give a lot of credit to Blackburn. They are a good side, and just on the day, there was no competing with them really, and I don't think it's anyone's fault. It's just a case they've got better players than us.
And Paul, this is another big Lancashire derby, isn't it? Are you confident you can do yourselves justice this time?
Yeah, we are very confident on our own pitch. We're not a bad side, and we need to do this for the fans more than anything, for some derby pride. We need to get back to winning ways.
And generally, how would you assess the progress you've made this season? Have you surprised yourselves?
I think so, yeah. I think even to be 10th, we've done well, and I think it showed Sunday that we were class apart from Blackburn and like the likes of Fulham and maybe Birmingham and Bolton as well. But hopefully it might be a bit more even on Friday against Preston.
Well, ahead of Friday, Paul, you need to eat some beans, don't you, I think? And Glenn, you've got to get your sleep, is that right?
I was put to sleep Sunday, I think, yeah.
That's what the player cards say, so we've got to stick to it, yeah.
2 Londoners making themselves at home in Lancashire. What's on your player card, Ronnie?
I think it's smoking. To not smoke.
Lots of smoking, lots of drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's absolutely right. We've spoken about it before, Ray, but clubs and the community, absolutely essential that they get together, and clearly Burnley are doing that better than most of them.
There's no question, Marcus. I think most clubs now do have these things put in place, and it's vitally important because these young kids are the next supporters of the club. So get out there and give them the opportunity to get along. And what we saw at Tranmere was quite good, wasn't it? When they let them in, and we had a full house against Fulham there. They let them in for nothing, I believe.
Yeah.
So why not do it? You know, give the young kids the opportunity, because in the north and in certain parts of the north, they're not as wealthy as many parts of the country. So it is quite pleasant to see the kids getting in there.
Is it something that you've particularly noticed since you've been at Burnley, Ronnie?
Yes, the good thing about Burnley is, like, you see so many children, young children with the Burnley tops on, and not so many Man United shirts and Liverpool, which is really nice. And it's a traditional football in town, and the community scheme is thriving, and everybody takes part, the players, the manager lets the players go to anything what's going on, and the place is always full, and the gym with the school children and the visits and that, and it's good for the town and it's good for the club as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Long may it continue. Well, I wonder what the Burnley fans are expecting from tonight's game after last weekend. Let's hear from a handful of them now.
Without sounding silly, last Sunday was last Sunday. It's Blackburn Rovers. It's very emotive. Today's another game. People are fitter. There's a different focal point on the game. And I think the players have something to prove to the fans today, so I think they'll react in the right manner.
Last week's performance, it was just a bad day for us. But tonight, it's a local derby again, so we're going to be straight back into the game with no problems.
Just hope we put on a performance like we did against Fulham and then we might just get a result today.
Well, I think tonight we need to play three up front. Gareth Taylor, Payton and Moore. And go for attack, all-out attack.
We're going to have to put a lot of hard work on it. We're very disappointing, but I think we can bounce back against Preston, local rivals again, another big derby. Just get us pride back.
Win tonight and bounce back, show a bit of pride. Another Lancashire derby, so we can get back on track if we win today.
Well, it's a big night for all of them. Let's find out what the team news is with Alan Bentley.
What's interesting, Marcus, in that Stan Ternent has resisted the temptation to make wholesale changes after last week, and in fact, the only changes he does make are enforced. Let's have a look then at the Burnley side, and confirmation, in fact, just the two changes. Graham Branch is out for the season with medial ligament damage, while Mitchell Thomas has a back injury. So the fullbacks tonight are Dean West, the first time he's featured at all this season, 17 Paul Smith, who did come on last week. Elsewhere, 28 Kevin Ball has yet to score for the club, while 7 Glenn Little, who got the goal which clinched promotion last season and was in the PFA Division 2 side. He scored only the once this term, albeit the winner against Fulham. 16 Ian Moore had an eventful couple of games against Preston at the back end of the year 2000. He scored and was then sent off whilst playing for Stockport against them, and he scored against them for Burnley 3 months later, and he's alongside 9 Gareth Taylor on loan from Manchester City, and that means once again the evergreen Andy Payton at number 10 is only on the bench. What about Preston? Well, it's interesting what Ray said about the options that David Moyes has, and he switches things around a little bit. Centre-back Michael Jackson is out injured, and Ryan Kidd drops to the bench. Back in come £1.5 million man David Healy at 11, and 14 Colin Murdoch, both ex-Manchester United reserves, both rested last week after being away with Northern Ireland. And in fact, the shape of the side changes as much as anything. Skipper Sean Gregan at 6 moves from midfield to the heart of the defence, and Healy forms a 3 up front with 17-goal John Macken wearing 17, and on loan Richard Cresswell, who's at 25. He's hoping to secure a permanent move after David Moyes twice tried to sign him before. And of course, he had that record on the opening game of the season when he was substituted after just 13 seconds playing for Sheffield Wednesday when Kevin Pressman was sent off. Back to you, Marcus.
A few times that Alan Bentley's been substituted after only 13 seconds, but that's just the way he plays football. Musterman, I thought there might be a few more changes in the Burnley starting 11 tonight, Ronnie.
Well, what we've got, you could have made a couple more changes, but we haven't got that much in the squad to change now. We've got so many injuries. I couldn't say much more he could change. It could have changed up front. It could have gone with a 3, or it could have, you know, rested 1 or 2. But he's left it is up there, and because the lads have done well. Yeah. Ian Moore and Gareth have done superb. Like, he just perhaps Ian, you know, he's looking for a couple more goals, but other than that, he's done brilliant.
Yep, it's limited resources for Stan. A 7:45 kick-off tonight. There's a bird's eye view of Turf Moor's surrounding area. Such a passionate place, of course, and it's gearing itself up for another very special occasion. Well, after the break, it is off to 10 Downing Street. Not to discuss election dates or how to curb foot and mouth, but to talk to one of the Prime Minister's closest advisors about his love of Burnley FC.
This is the most important fight of my life.
Prince Nassim.
It's time to prove who's the best.
Marco Antonio Barrera.
This fight's going down in history, just like Hagler Hearns and Leonard Duran. This is my test, my defining moment.
Judgment Night, 10 p.m. tomorrow, Sky Box Office. You can order this event now for $11.95 using your digital remote control. See Channel 770 for ordering information.
It's just magical. Mum says back to bed. But Mum, we're too excited!
The only thing better better than looking forward to a magical Walt Disney World holiday is actually being there. Are you asleep?
Too excited.
But this won't take too long, Leslie. Let's kick off at 3.
Homebase are hammering down prices on thousands of products. There's up to 20% off all garden furniture.
Oh, no!
Find out for yourself if Observer Sport Monthly gives sport coverage the kick it has long needed. Free with this Sunday's Observer.
Why on earth do they allow that bloke on the course? Mr. Kipling? Well, he does make exceedingly good cakes.
Your ears still popping. Pinch your nose. Take big gulp. And think of Des Lehman.
It usually works. Thanks.
An extra live match from the Scottish Premier League coming up for you tomorrow afternoon on Sky Box Office. Celtic against St Mirren. A win for Celtic will make them the new Scottish champions. It's live from 12:30. And for more information on this special box office event, the number to call is 08705 800 888. That's 08705 800 888. Tonight it's the First Division. A small matter of Burnley and Preston. Now, Preston boast a better record over the years. They've won 4 of the last 5. Drawing the other. You have to go back to February '93 for Burnley's last win here. Andy Farrell and Adrian Heath were on target in a 2-0 win, and that is Preston's only defeat in their last 7 visits. Interesting odds tonight. Bookies can't make up their minds, and the draw 21-10. That's not a mistake apparently, but I have to confess I've never heard of those odds before. All very strange indeed. Now, over the past few years, it's become very fashionable to support a football club, and a lot of well-known people have jumped on the bandwagon. But earlier this week, I went to Downing Street to meet a die-hard Burnley supporter whose love for the club can't be questioned. Now, when he isn't briefing the media or advising Tony Blair, the Prime Minister's official spokesman, Alistair Campbell, is more often than not reading up on the Clarets. And while his role in New Labour's success has given him enormous satisfaction, football still has a very special place in his heart.
I get there as often as I can. I think last year I probably did 15, 20 games. This year will probably end up round about the same. Although, you know, with all this talk about elections, it's very difficult to concentrate sometimes.
And what are your earliest memories of being a supporter of the club?
I think my first memory is just seeing the colours of the shirts and just remembering that I thought they were nice colours, and which they are. And then, you know, I can just remember the sense of crowd and noise, and I remember Gordon Harris is the first player that I can, you know, first memory I've got of somebody remembering them play is Gordon Harris, who was a midfield player we had. And who were your other heroes in those early days? Well, my all-time hero as a player was Leighton James. I think he was absolutely brilliant footballer, and he was one of the few players who, whenever he got the ball, the crowd would just, you know, when it just goes sort of a bit silent for half a second because you just think something's going to happen. But around that time, we had some, you know, we had some great players.
You've seen it already as a supporter, haven't you? Because there was the very sad decline, and now the gradual rise. How painful, first of all, was it to see the club slip into the doldrums?
Well, when I first saw them, they were league champions, and then 25 years later, they literally almost fell out of the league and had to beat Orient to stay up. It was terrible, to be perfectly honest. It was absolutely ghastly. You know, you just you felt you were on the slide, and you felt the club was just going down and down and down and down. There's nothing you could do to stop it. And it's amazing, actually, that, you know, Burnley have picked up and rebuilt in the way that we have. And, you know, things aren't so looking so good after last weekend. But, I mean, you know, even to be thinking, as we have been, about getting into the playoffs and possibly getting promoted to the Premiership, is a huge thing. And it's an incredible tribute to lots of people who've been there working very, very hard. And to the support, because what has been incredible at Burnley is the extent to which, within Burnley and the sort of local community, support has been pretty rock solid the whole way through. It is amazing when you go to Burnley on a match day. You know there is something big going on. There's an atmosphere about the whole place, and it's a very, very important part of the community. And I think that's why the Orient game, those years back when we nearly went out in the league, I think it was then actually that the revival began, because I think the whole community thought, my God, you know, we nearly lost something there. It was really, really precious, and we don't want to go back there again. And that, I think, is that sort of force of community spirit, if you like, has helped Burnley get up and hopefully stay up.
As you dream into the future, what would you like to see Burnley achieve before you finally stop being a football supporter?
Well, I'd like Burnley to win the Champions League 5 years on the trot, and that would be I'm realistic enough to know that it's you know, it's unlikely to happen. I think realistically, I'd like to see them back in the Premiership. I'd like to see them in an FA Cup final. I think that's possible. I'd like to see them consolidate in terms of the, you know, if you like, the size of the club that they are, and grow. I think that even though, you know, with crowds of around about 15,000, you're getting a very, very big percentage of the local population turning up. I think that can grow. So I'd like to see them sort of survive and prosper as a first division football club, occasionally getting up into the Premiership.
Final thought then about this game against Preston. Are you confident that the side can bounce back after the horror of last Sunday?
Yeah, yeah. And I think after a defeat like that, when everybody knows it went wrong and there's no point pretending that it didn't, that you know, they'll be up for it, and the fans will be up for it, and you know, they know they're going to have to bounce back, so they will.
No question, a major Burnley fan. He's hoping to be there tonight. You're one of his heroes, Ronnie. I don't know if you were aware of that.
No, I didn't.
Any other famous Burnley supporters who appear week in, week out at Turf Moor that you know of?
No, Paul Cook's dad thinks he's quite famous. He comes watches, you know, that's about it.
The one thing that came out of that chat, going back to '87, that game against Leyton Orient, you saw the fans on the pitch at the end. Burnley came so close to going out of the Football League, and it does seem almost unthinkable, doesn't it?
The football team is part of the people, isn't it? There's such a closely knit community that the football club is a big thing for them, and they love their football. They really love their football in the north. It's amazing.
And despite that friendly chat, he wouldn't tell me when the election's going to be, but never mind. Now, no Downing Street support for Preston that I could find this week, but that hasn't stopped the club from making a real impact in the First Division. David Moyes' shrewd transfer wheeler dealing has been one of the reasons for that success. And when Steve Basham broke his leg in October, Moyes was quick to move, snapping up a fully fledged international from Manchester United, of all places. Johnny Phillips reports.
Leaving Manchester United can be a wrench for any up-and-coming youngster lucky enough to be on the club's books. But at 21, David Healy found that scoring in the reserves wasn't for him.
I wasn't really playing, and I didn't really feel part of the, you know, the squad and that, because I wasn't involved too much. It was nice to be there, but you know, as soon as Preston came in, I just wanted to go and play first team football. Preston's not as big as Manchester United, but I'm playing first team football. I'm the happiest I've been in a long time, so you know, I can't complain at the minute.
So you did actually sit down with Sir Alex, and he talked you through your prospects, really?
He just pulled us in and just says, look, we've got 4 world-class strikers, and it was around Christmas when I think there was 2 or 3 of them out, and I still wasn't getting a chance. So he just pulled me in and just says, look, there's, you know, you've done well, you've been patient, but unfortunately there's no room. I spoke to David Moyes before signing. He just says, you know, come here, you'll improve your game, you know, you'll get stronger and tougher, and you know, hopefully I'll do that in the next couple of years.
And it couldn't have been a more dramatic start to your career here.
Yeah, 4 minutes in, Sheffield United got my goal. So it sort of sat me down a bit, and from there, you know, I've scored a few more, and hopefully I'll keep doing it.
It's been a bit like that throughout your career, because at international level you blazed onto the scene there as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock when I first found out I was going to be playing against Luxembourg. I think somebody told me on the Tuesday when we were playing on the Wednesday. So it's always nice when you know, you're going to start your debut for your country. You know, so it was always nice.
Did you find that surprising that you were playing international football before club football?
Not really, because the statute in Northern Ireland, you know, there's not that many players coming out at the minute. So, you know, it was always nice to get called in when you're part of Manchester United. You know, everybody's looking at you whether you're playing or not.
With 7 goals for the Whites since his move in December, the 21-year-old has helped propel David Moyes' men back into the playoff frame. And whilst their league position has raised a few eyebrows, Healy believes a top 6 spot is not a false position.
When you see, you know, the talent in the squad, you know, there's a lot of young lads coming through at the minute. You know, they've been here for the last 2-3 years, coming up from the 2nd division. So that's going to help, you know, people know each other's games, the strengths. So, you know, it doesn't really surprise me.
And looking specifically at Friday's game, it's a massive local derby. Seems to be a few of those this season.
Yeah, every you know, sort of month or so there's a big derby match like Burnley, Blackburn. You know, so the last game I played in the derby against Blackburn was a bit disappointing because, you know, we were 3-0 down after sort of 20-25 minutes. So when you do that there's no way back. So hopefully against Burnley on Friday, you know, we can improve on that.
But they've got a point to prove after last week as well.
Definitely. Watched the game and I think Blackburn sort of overran them a bit, but they'll be, you know, fired up, I think. So we'll just have to take it from there and hopefully get the 3 points.
Well, he has made a really good impression since moving to Preston. I know he's very well regarded within the game too, isn't he, Ronnie?
He is. Phil Gray, who was at Burnley with us, who's since moved on to Oxford, he'd been away on international duty with Northern Ireland, and he'd come back and told us, you know, he's one of the most natural goal scorers, you know, finishes he's seen, and I hope he's not quite so good tonight, but obviously he's got a great future.
It was a strange start to his career. It really wasn't making more of an impact at international level than on the domestic stage.
Yeah, it is rather a backward way of doing things, Marcus, but I've got nothing but admiration for these young guys that actually leave the comfort zone of Manchester United and want to improve their career. And I think David Moyes has made a fantastic signing for £1.5 million.
That is a good point. A lot of players, without naming names, seem to be quite happy often to stay on a payroll, earning their money and perhaps hardly ever seeing first-team football, but certainly there's been a few from Manchester United.
You've got to get out there,
gone
Marcus,
for it,
especially when you're a young lad. You've got to get out there and test the water, and full credit to him. He's gone into the first division, and he's scored goals regularly as well. And it's nice to see a young man with a bit of ambition.
Is this something you could put on your player card, apart from smoking and drinking, Ronnie? Go out and play as many first-team games for whoever it may be, rather than languish in the reserves?
Yeah, I think when you come to the end of the career, you accept being on the bench and in the reserves. But certainly it's the beginning of your career. You know, people who accept being in the reserves and youth team, it's not good enough. You've got to get out there, learn your trade, whether it be in the lower divisions, and hopefully strive to get back where they started.
Well, David Healy and Preston are a major ingredient in what promises to be a thrilling climax to the season.
Lining up a blockbuster. It breaks for Gardner. Great touch. Lovely goal. It's an absolute scorcher. What a goal. And Smith is in here and scores. It's gone in.
Don't miss it. We have some terrific live games coming up. Next Wednesday, it's Blackburn and Fulham at Ewood Park. Depending on what happens this weekend, Fulham could go up on Wednesday night. Next Friday, Good Friday, it's Bolton against Birmingham. Easter Monday, Blackburn and Huddersfield. Then on April the 22nd, a real six-pointer as Preston take on Watford. April the 28th, Barnsley and Bolton. That's a Saturday evening game, by the way. And the following day, it is Blackburn and Portsmouth. Some run it. The weather, I'm afraid, has taken a real turn for the worst at Turf Moor. Look at that. We're in the north, no question. It's lashing down, but that won't dampen the spirit and enthusiasm of the two sets of supporters. It's a passionate Lancashire derby, just 15 minutes or so until kick-off. Burnley against Preston. He doesn't mind, does he? Just do up the jacket, eat your chips, and get on with life. Let's hear from Stan Turner. He's talking to Alan.
Stan, I'm sure you don't need reminding about what happened last Sunday, but how have the players responded to the mauling at Ewood Park?
They've done very well. We've worked hard this week. We had a look at it on the video, or most of it. and we'll see if we can put it right tonight.
I mean, were there particular lessons to be learned from last Sunday?
Oh, in the second half we were all over the place. First half, the 2 goals, one were both deflections. The second one was just a free goal. But in the second half we were well and truly turned over, so we have to do a lot better than that.
Of course, it's another local derby tonight. Is there then a particular pressure on the players to perform again?
Well, there's always a pressure to perform when you're at a club like Burnley and against local rivals. Unfortunately, in the derby matches this season, we haven't done very well, apart from the first game of the season where we drew at Bolton. So tonight's a big test for us, but it gives the players a chance to rescue some pride, and I'm sure they'll be up for it.
You keep slaughtering us for what you do on Sky as well. All the players keep saying, "Will you just get lost, you lot?"
Oh, we never seem to do anything at all on Sky. I don't think we've ever had a result that I can. Oh, we won a Barnet once in the cup. I think that's about the only time we've ever done anything. But say in the league, there's a first time for everything. So let's hope it's tonight.
What about Preston, Stan? What are they like? What can we expect from them?
Very good, well-organised team. David's done extremely well there. Spent quite a bit of money on some of them, but they're very good go-ahead players. Pass the ball well, and they're in the top 6, and that's not a surprise to me. We were runners-up to them last year, and they'll only get better in my book, so it'll be a tough match, and they beat us here last time as well. So we'll see.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
He's got a big smile on his face, as have, well, at least one Burnley fan there. He comes across, Ronnie, as being a very gentle, charming sort of fellow. What's he actually like as a football manager?
He just wants to win. That's the be-all and end-all, and he's very passionate about Burnley Football Club. He lives in the town. He started his career in the town. I mean, sometimes it comes over to certain people that, you know, he's a bit dour, but he's far from it. He sticks by his players, and we're just a little group, and we don't let anything slip. We just dig in together when we get a bad result. The wins we take, the training ground, we keep everything like very private. But he's so passionate about Burnley. He wants to do so well for Burnley, and I think he will do given time. We haven't got the resources to go out and spend money like your Blackburns, your West Broms, your Birmingham Wolves. You know, you can name them all. But the club's on a good footing now. He's got a good board behind him, a good chairman. And just hope the fans are patient and let us build on, on the success what we've had.
Did he go berserk after the game last weekend?
No, he didn't. He was disappointed, but like we've gone over the video this week, same as he's just said. And the first 2 goals are deflections. Second half, we were poor, but he's done it in a constructive manner. Same as Ray will tell you. Sometimes you've just got to hold your hand up and say, they're better players than us at the end of the day, and take your kicking. Get on with it, get back on the training ground, and that's what Burnley Football Club are trying to do, is to strive and be up there with your Blackburns of this world and your Fulhams and your Birmingham Cities. But it's the first season back, and overall, we're doing fine. We all can get us odd thumping now and then.
Ray, you saw him afterwards in Graham Souness's office, and he had a big glass of red wine. He was looking rather thoughtful, but he seemed to have calmed down fairly sufficiently within 20 minutes or so of that match.
Yeah, he seemed to. I think he's pretty philosophical about it. They got beat by a better side on the day, and they took a bit of a thumping in the second half. But he was very upbeat in the interview. I've got to say, if his players are as light and as upbeat as he was there, then we're in for a good game tonight.
So much for the Burnley angle. Let's see what David Moyes has to say. He is now talking with Alan.
David, first of all, I mean, how do you assess the sort of playoff race at the moment?
Well, it's interesting. I think there's a lot of teams can get involved in it still. I don't think it's just the teams who are in the top 6 places at the moment. But, we've been trying not to concentrate and talk about it too much. We're trying to get on with the job. And there's a lot of football to be played before it's decided.
Would you like to think you've got enough, though, in the tank to sort of stay where you are now?
Well, as I've said, we're really not talking about it. We're not discussing the playoffs. What's important is we win the next football match. And as you're all well aware, that's the one against Burnley tonight.
You had a sort of sticky spell around the turn of the new year. What have you then done to sort of change things and make things better again?
Well, the players have changed it. They're the ones who started the season very well. We were new to the division and maybe kept more momentum going from last season. But then, we found a spell in the middle of the season where things didn't go particularly well for us, which I'm sure happens to most clubs. And, we got over it, we rode it, and we're now on a decent run of form.
What about Burnley then tonight? What can we expect from tonight?
Well, I don't know what you can expect from Burnley, but from us, hopefully, we'll try and play and create opportunities and chances for our forwards. Having a look at the pitch just now, the pitch is very wet, and it'll be difficult, so we'll need to try and assess it as we go along.
Thanks a lot, David.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Well, no question, he is one of the brightest young managers in the game at the moment. Raymond, where is your money tonight?
I'm fence sitting. I'm score drawing tonight, Marcus. I think there will be goals, and I think they will be equalled out.
You're expecting a positive response from Burnley?
Yep, definitely. I think they'll go for it and make it a pretty interesting evening for everybody concerned. I think it'll be a score draw.
Ronnie?
It's going to be difficult. It's a local derby, but I give 2-0 to Burnley.
And just a brief word for those of us not from Lancashire, how does the Burnley-Preston derby compare with the Burnley-Blackburn affair?
It's, you know, they look forward to this derby, but the Blackburn and the Burnley one is a little bit special, a little bit more so special than this.
But this still means plenty?
Oh, it means plenty, yeah. It's great to Preston are a big club, and it's great for the supporters to, you know, to put their wits against these.
Once again, Alan Bentley just appearing with his other job for the day. Our match commentators are Chris Kamara and Rob Hawthorne.
And for Burnley, bruised by their 5-0 defeat in the derby at Blackburn, the best way, the only way to demonstrate their recovery is to bounce back in this derby. Preston have found them in a worse state before. 2 years ago they came here when Burnley had lost their preceding games 5-0 and 6-0. Preston won that day to leave Burnley in the bottom 4 of the second division, but they didn't lose another game all season and were promoted with Preston the following year. Steve Davis, Glenn Little and Paul Cook in the Burnley starting lineup. Remember those dark days all too well. Though the squad has changed significantly since then. There are 2 changes to the side routed at Ewood Park. Graham Branch misses this game and the rest of the season with a medial ligament injury. And Mitchell Thomas is out with a back problem. So Paul Smith starts and Dean West makes his first league appearance since last season's promotion clincher at Scunthorpe.
4-4-2 for Stan's Burnley tonight. It's all about confidence, organisation, togetherness. Steve Davis, he's the captain of the side. He's the one that must organise them. The back line of West, Cox, Smith and Davis himself, that's togetherness. Now they've got to keep the pressure away from their goalkeeper. In the middle of the park, it's Weller, Ball and Cook. They'll more or less sit in between the 3 players there that Preston will have, and Little. Plenty of ability, plenty of skill down that right-hand side. It's up front where the key is. The pace of Moore. Can he get in and amongst the back 2 of Preston? And Gareth Taylor, he'll win enough headers. Can Moore get on the flick-ons?
For last week's draw with Gillingham, Preston manager David Moyes rested the Northern Ireland duo of Colin Murdoch and David Healy. Both return tonight, and Sean Gregan will have to play at the back because Michael Jackson is out injured. Richard Cresswell, pursued by Moyes for some time, is now on loan for the rest of the season with a view to a permanent move from Leicester.
Well, he's going for it, David Moyes, tonight. 4-3-3. He realises the importance. If they win this game tonight, they've virtually got 1 foot in the playoffs. Still a way to go, but this would be a massive result. Gregan, the important player for them, couldn't play a midfielder at the back. He plays as comfortable in either position. He's important tonight. As I said, it's in midfield. It's 3 against 4. Rankin and McKenna are going to be saying to one of those front 3, Healy, Mackin and Creswell, one of you have got to fill in. When we're under pressure, Healy, whether it's you, whether it's Creswell, whether Mackin has to drop in between us, one of you have got to get back. We'll provide the chances, and don't be surprised for any of these 3 with their ability to take them.
Steve Davis looking to restore some pride to a Burnley defence that disintegrated in the second half against Blackburn last week. Sean Gregan's Preston on an excellent run at the moment that's propelled them back into the playoff picture. Defeat for them tonight will give Watford an inkling of a chance tomorrow, a chance that they don't want to give Graham Taylor's team. It's actually here at Turf Moor that Graham Taylor's last league match in charge of Watford will take place. Make no mistake about it. Although Burnley's own promotion aspirations may be a distant dream, this venue will have a big say in the promotion picture. The likes of West Brom, Birmingham and Watford still to come here in the remainder of the season. But tonight it's Preston looking to boost their promotion aspirations against local rivals wounded by their defeat at Blackburn last weekend. The whole game is coming up live for you.
Their names are on the cup, and deservedly so. the Vauxhall Zafira?
Thanks to Flex 7 technology, it has 39 different seat combinations. Number 1, 7 seats.
Combination number 2?
23. 38. No, I've done that one. There's one more in here somewhere. Kimberley, where are you?
Vauxhall, raising the standard.
Homebase are hammering down prices on thousands of products. There's up to 20% off all Dulux ready-mixed coloured emulsion.
Think you ever did it, Leslie?
If you haven't tried Charmin Ultra yet, you really must. You won't believe how good it feels. Only Charmin Ultra has such a unique, cushiony, soft surface to give you a comfortable, clean feeling every time. Lovely pattern. Wait till you feel it. Charmin Ultra. You won't believe it till you feel it.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
We found a more authentic way to create a taste of New York. The New York Deli Double for just $1.99. Burger King. It's all about the burgers.
Compaq is more than just a logo on the BMW Williams F1 car. The race team's Compaq Armada M-Series notebooks with Intel Pentium 3 processors enable them to analyze the car at the track and make decisions during the race itself. And Frank Williams to realize the team's ambition of winning the World Championship again. Business solutions from Compaq.
With 7 seats and air conditioning as standard, Vauxhall Zafira Club 1.6 is available from just £12,995.
Nationwide can make quite a difference to its members. It belongs to them, and it's run entirely for their benefit. They were the first on the high street to get interest on their current accounts. Their credit cards are consistently among the best buys. And they've not had to pay for cash withdrawals for years. So now, can you see the difference? Run entirely for the benefit of its members. Nationwide, underlining the difference.
Interesting times at the lane. So?
A cup, sir?
We could have one coming in May.
That's confident.
Are you ready for heat?
We like it. Red hot.
White hot even.
Remember the semi in '93?
Yeah, what about 91?
The Axis FA Cup semi-final. Arsenal v Tottenham, Sunday at 12. Sky Sports 2 and Extra.
Thank you very much.
Well, Preston won the meeting of these two clubs back in December, despite the fact that Ian Moore gave Burnley the lead. It was the second time that he'd scored against Preston this season, having done so for Stockport in a game in which he was also sent off. And Moore is the first subject of player cam for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 4. Well, there's a greater expanse in terms of the M65 between Burnley and Preston than there was between Burnley and Blackburn, but it's still an intense derby, and Burnley have played Preston more regularly in recent times than they have Blackburn Rovers, and they haven't done too well in these games. Preston haven't lost in 5 matches against their local rivals, and they've won on their last 2 visits here. It's Preston in white who've got the game started, and Ian Cox wins his first aerial duel. The pitch is looking a little scarred after the heavy rainfall, particularly in the run-up to this game. But the groundsman Arthur Bellamy has worked hard, and the covers have for the most part done their job. Although down the centre and in the goal areas we might expect it to cut up a little later. Smith's throw, Taylor's flick on, cleared by Paul McKenna.
Well, it is 4-3-3 for Preston, but as I've just seen straight away, Creswell has just tucked in into a right-sided position when they're defending, and Healy tucking into a left-sided position. So they are basically going to defend as a 5 across that midfield.
It's Macken's flick on. Cox just awaiting the bounce. And Richard Cresswell, who's scored once since his arrival at Preston, making a determined challenge there against Micopoulos.
Well, that was real determination. One, he jumped in from a long way, really made great efforts and pace to get up there. And that's the type of pressure you need.
It's Graham Alexander with the throw. Alexander, who was once the subject of a bid from Burnley, but opted instead to join their Lancashire rivals. Macken looking to pull the ball back across, and it's Kevin Ball who clears. Gregan going into challenge with Moore. Fox's header. Sean Gregan, who's had to put his versatility to good use this year. Oh, Davis has missed that header.
Well, they're vulnerable, Burnley. Their confidence is low. David Moyes has obviously said straight away, let's put them under pressure. Let's get the ball into their half. Let's keep it there. Let's see how confident they feel after that 5 goals last week. And at the moment, early days at the moment, but it certainly is pressure working.
Davis. Alexander. McKenna's flick on. Now Glenn Little, with Dean West pushing up on the outside of him. Good return ball. Little. Moore and Taylor to his left. Cook breaking forward as well. Oh, it's a great start for Burnley! A dream start! And Ian Moore, for the 3rd time this season, scores against Preston.
This is real quality. What a goal this is. From the minute West picks up the ball, gives it to Little, a 1-2 perfect. Then he's got to make strides. He's got a chasing man. McKenna's after him. Doesn't have the pace to stay with him. And what about that for a delivery? I will get there and I'll finish it off. What a finish by Moore. Great goal, 1-0.
And in the 3rd minute, the perfect settler that Burnley wanted. And Ian Moore, who scored the opening goal at Deepdale, only to finish on the losing side, and scored against Preston in the 2nd minute for Stockport, and then finished up drawing the game and expelled from the pitch with a red card, has given Burnley the perfect start here.
That's what you need. I said they're low on confidence. Their first attack, and when they were being put under pressure in these early minutes by Preston, they go to the other end, and that is a wonderful goal.
Well, Stan Turnant hasn't spent vast amounts since his move as manager here, but Ian Moore is the club's record signing, reportedly their first £1 million player, and his goal return in that time hasn't really been that good. That's just the 4th he scored since his arrival here, and this is his 22nd appearance for the club. But he'd scored 8 before his arrival for Stockport this season. Here's Murdoch. Edwards. Macken unable to keep it in. Here's West with the throw. Played a big part in the move that led to the goal with Glenn Little. This is Edwards. Layoff was by Cresswell. Rob Edwards again. This is McKenna. Now Cresswell. Just had his legs taken from under him by Steve Davis. Free kick.
Well, it's early in the game, isn't it? And big Steve Davis just letting Richard Cresswell know he's there, but they've got time to recover. Preston, suck a blow when you're on the attack.
Played in by McKenna, and Kevin Ball, the man who meets it. Back in again from McKenna, but everything so far being repelled by the Burnley defence. Davis behind the second ball in.
Well, he's a good player, Steve Davis, there's no doubt about that. Extra half a yard of pace, and there's no doubt he would be playing in the Premier League. He could still do it because he reads the game very well.
Edwards. Cook. Kenner. Now Alexander. Try given no room by Cook. A foul free kick. Well, the perfect tonic really for a Burnley side that was evidently low on confidence.
Perfect start.
Actually, Burnley were on the wrong end of a 5-0 scoreline once before this season against Nottingham Forest in October, and they did bounce back to win their next game against Crewe. Indeed, took 7 points from the next line available. Risky header back by Edwards, and Moylan does deal with it eventually.
Yeah, lots of power in that header from Rob Edwards, and it takes a bounce off the surface as well. Cook plays the ball in, and watch this, he thumps that with his head, it bounces off the surface, but Tepi Moylan just moves his foot in for a second, but saves it.
Well, was the Burnley player lurking. Tepi Moylan, who had a somewhat erratic display last week against Gillingham, but kept another clean sheet, and defensively Preston have been doing particularly well lately. Indeed, since Moylan took over from David Lucas 10 games ago, he'd kept 7 clean sheets. But his rear guard already breached tonight. West part responsible for that with Glenn Little. Ian Moore, the goal scorer.
He's a great size, Tepi Moylan for the goalkeeper. Fills the goals, and seen him have good days and bad days, but as you said, the last 10 games have been good days, and he couldn't be faulted for that first goal.
There's Murdoch. Now Sean Gregan. Graham Alexander. Blocked by Cook. This is Gareth Taylor. Weller. Ball. Now West. Weller bending his run to stay onside. And it's cleared by McKenna. Burnley fans who were so distraught at Ewood Park last week like what they're seeing so far tonight.
And they've settled immediately. That goal has taken away any problems that they had in the first couple of minutes, because now they want to pass it, now they want to play, and they have got talented players in their side when they do that.
Little goes in. Steve Davis waiting in the 6-yard box as the corner is touched behind by Moylan. It might have gone for the goal kick without the touch, but he says he wasn't given a shout.
He wasn't given a shout, he needs a call. Murdoch's coming in there, he just needs to tell him.
Will it be a costly corner conceded by the Finnish goalkeeper? Weller, who's taken this one. Taylor had lost his footing at the vital moment. Little looking to get away from McKenna, playing for another corner and getting it.
He does have good ability. Just cheeky the way he just flicked that over McKenna's head, just looking for that half a yard, and it's not a blast into the box, it's not a hit and hope, it's just played and placed into an area. McKenna got the block.
Cox and Taylor both waiting to fasten onto this. There are 3 men in the 6-yard box as well, Little, Davis and Moore. But that's an easy play.
Well, like I said, he's a big goalie. He certainly fills that box, and that's ideal for him, that one. Well, he'll be disappointed with the goal, but he won't be too concerned at the moment. His game plan didn't work as he hoped, put loads of pressure on. But when it comes to the other end, you've got to defend, and they didn't quite do that. Having said that, it was a very well worked goal.
A bit of an altercation a moment ago between Kevin Ball and Mark Rankin. Ball appearing to just kick out at Rankin after the ball is gone. And here they go again, the two dueling. And this time Rankin is penalised.
Well, Gibson takes it. Kevin Ball, Mark Rankin as well. Two good competitors. There'll be no problems with these two. There's give and take. There it is. He just follows through, Mark Rankin, and Kevin Ball just follows through with a kick himself. There's the arm just waving. No problem.
That was Healy. And the free kick given for the challenge on David Healy. Club's record by, although he wasn't in the starting lineup last week. He's done well, those 7 goals in 12 league starts since his move from Manchester United. United have been a regular source of players for Preston. Alexander looking for Macken, another former Manchester United man. Kovalas relatively untroubled by the shot.
Well, you can see what he was trying to do. He was just trying to whip it to that top far corner, but didn't make good contact.
Here's Healy. Fouled by Steve Davis.
Mr. Leake now, that's the second one he's done. One on Creswell. Now he's come to the back of David Healy. Once again, he's got no chance of getting the ball. Nothing too malicious about it. It's just a word from the referee.
Here's Gregan. Header away by Davis. This is Cresswell. Richard Cresswell, a player definitely playing for his future. Disappointed at the limited opportunities he's had at Leicester. David Moyes, clearly a manager who has great belief in him from the length of his pursuit of the player. Cartwright looking to pull it across for Cresswell. And will it fall here for Macken? Kept it in, but it's Weller who gets it away. There seemed to be a push in the back there of Taylor by Murdoch, but it went unpunished. This is Smith. Away by Alexander. Cook back to Paul Smith. Foul by Healy. Here's Moore. Cartwright challenging for it and winning it. This is Ian Cox. Alexander, Rankin. Cresswell stood on the ball. This is Little. Davis. West. Getting away from McKenna. Weller trying to steer it around Colin Murdoch.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Burnley want to put on a performance tonight. They seem to be getting balls in difficult areas and trying to play their way through the Preston players, and it seems to be working so far. Little and Cook, the two wide players, pulling the strings.
Burnley have beaten Preston only once in their last 9 league meetings since their last victory here. That was back in February 1993 when they won 2-0. Andy Farrell and Adrian Heath, who subsequently became manager here, scorers that day.
Well, that's going to be a good battle. Rankin and Ball. No quarter given, no quarter taken. Two good pros.
Many neutral observers were bothered by the apparent lack of a competitive edge for a derby match in the last one that Burnley played last weekend. But they're certainly fired up for this one. Undoubtedly wounded by the events of the Ewood Park rout. They've had a week of reflection. They've had time to clear their minds. And they've made an excellent start here. That's Kevin Ball. Murdoch. Belated raising of the linesman's flag.
Not sure it was either.
Ian Moore, the goal scorer. Played by Graham Alexander. And prepare to be mesmerised by Paul McKenna, because he is the subject of player cam now for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. Here's Rankin. Macken. Cut out by Cook. Weller just shepherds it out. Burnley have performed particularly disappointingly in Lancashire derbies so far this season. Just a point from the previous 5 that they played. We have the early advantage here, though. Graham Alexander for a Preston side looking to recover from that 3rd-minute setback. Smith. Cox. Regan.
Free kick against Moore there. It seems a lot wrong, but Tony Leake, the referee, saw it.
Sean Gregan with the free kick. Glanced in towards Cresswell, but it's Hall who's tied it up.
As you can see, there's nobody forward at all for Burnley, defending as a team.
Murdoch. Cleared by Steve Davis. The target of a throw, and he manages to conceal it well from Cox. This is McKenna. 4 in the box for Preston. Macken! And deflected behind for the corner.
And they get lucky. They get lucky because Ian Cox does not know where this ball is going once it leaves Macken's boot. Cresswell makes a great run across the near, can't get the header, can't turn it round with his head. Healy then jumps up and he hits that ball. Jonathan Macken, the goalkeeper goes where the ball should have gone, and that deflection takes it wide.
And Edwards takes a corner that Taylor manages to clear. And after 1 or 2 tense moments, the opportunity for Burnley to break here. Little's ball, though, does well a few favours. Can't right away. West, given away to McKenna. Looking for Healy. Davis gets there ahead of Macken, but it's Rankin who's following up. Now Cresswell. Edwards. McKenna. Moore snapping in with a challenge and showing great passion and commitment there. And winning the throw into the bargain.
Preston just edging the possession, as we can see, keeping the ball a little bit better than Burnley. Burnley obviously got that all-important goal, but you can see why they're in the position they are. Preston just starting to pass it around really well.
Here tonight, Preston's destiny very much in their own hands, with 5 of their remaining 7 games at home. This is Little, now Weller, and Little again, and And he's gone down looking for the penalty and doesn't get it.
Nice experience from Gregan. Gregan has read the situation. He knows exactly where Glenn Little's going. He's running into a channel that is the defenders. It's great ability from this lad. He does have so much ability. But there he is. Gregan knows that that ball's going to the right-hand side. So you get your body in the way. You come across him. There's no way that that's a foul. The ball's not at Little's feet.
Gregan and Glenn Little were both in the PFA second division team for last year when these sides were promoted. Little certainly has a great deal of ability, and on his day can be a massive influence, and he's carved Preston apart once already for the goal and threatened to do so again there.
Well, people look at Glenn Little and they say he's not quick enough and not sharp enough for maybe the Premiership, but I think he showed with that turn of pace for the first goal that it's in his locker. Maybe you just don't see it often enough.
They're walking wounded now, with Paul Smith getting treated for Burnley and Colin Murdoch, the Preston player, receiving treatment. Smith is all right again, and Murdoch is happy to carry on, but is going to have to temporarily vacate the field of play. Murdoch is back on. Preston restored to their full complement, and ball there is digging in against Macken. It's Gregan. Away by Davis. Macken. Cleared by Ball. Murdoch backpedaling. And Cartwright losing out under pressure.
Ian Moore was offside there, and Paul Cook plays his ball through, but obviously he's not interfering when Gareth Taylor plays the ball. And Colin Murdoch goes right through the back of him, but he's got his arms up. If you watch more, there he is. He's out of the picture.
Well, Steve Davis, Paul Smith, Paul Cook, all in attendance for this free kick.
Steve Davis from the side.
It is Davis. Cleared by Graham Alexander. Cartwright looks to get underneath it, but Taylor does. However, it's Preston who emerge with it. Cresswell. Foul by Smith. This one coming in behind Cox, but neither getting any contact to it.
No need to be so close. It's a great ball whipped in. It's right underneath his own player. Just need to give himself another yard, maybe 2 yards there, Richard Creswell, before he actually makes a run in.
Yes, more. Gregan. Moylan coming a real long way from goal.
Well, his starting position was good. That's the reason he was able to do that, because it wasn't the best of passes.
Taylor. Rankin. Foul by Weller. Preston haven't lost in their last 5 away matches. They've won 4 of them. Only only time they've been defeated in the last 10 was at home. That was against Birmingham. This is Macken.
They seem to be winning all the second balls now, Preston. But it's still that final ball that doesn't seem to be getting them anywhere at the moment.
Pushed by Gareth Taylor. There's Graham Alexander getting forward. Cartwright's cross. Cresswell looks to get there. And the Preston fans were fooled into thinking that that had gone in, such was their viewing angle.
And the delivery from Cartwright is a bit special. This ball is just magnificent. What an area he plays that into. And Richard Cresswell gets above Steve Davis, gets on the header, but just can't keep it down. And it just trips over.
Rankin. Now Macken. This is Smith. Cartwright. Alexander, who gets forward in support well, has managed to reach Edwards this time. McKenna. Worryingly short from Murdoch, but Moylan again a good starting position, and then that was a late challenge by Taylor on him.
It's very late. You can see what he's trying to do, Gareth Taylor. He thinks once Toive Moylan kicks his ball, he hopefully kicks it against my legs. But what he does, he just changes his mind at the last seconds, Toive Moylan, and not to kick it long, not to kick it up the park, but just to kick it out of play. And that's where the problem arises. Because he changes his feet, then the slide comes through. And Taylor, you can see there's no way is he intended to hurt the man. He's trying to get the ball, but he's followed through. And quite rightly, he'll be in trouble with Mr. Leake, but nothing too serious.
Well, it's a booking for Taylor. And it does look a bit worrying, actually, for Tepi Moylan, because he's had a knee problem anyway, which has been a persistent problem, although this one appears to be a foot injury.
Well, he was up 2 minutes ago, running and having a go at Gareth Taylor. So, you know, it's not that bad. It's not too bad. It's he obviously feels aggrieved by it, and it did look reasonably bad, but I think we've cleared it up that Gareth Taylor was a genuine attempt. He thought the goalkeeper was going to kick the ball against him.
Just to put you in the picture, David Moyes does have a goalkeeper on the bench in the form of David Lucas, and he and Moylan have generally been vying for the #1 position. The signals from the physio Mick Rathbone don't appear too encouraging either. Is Moylan going to carry on here?
No, he's going off. He's going off. You can see he's very, very angry.
Well, Moylan has had to work so hard to get his place back. And now that place threatened by this injury, and David Moyes forced to bring on his reserve. It's certainly a good reserve to have in David Lucas, an England youth international who's been in England under-21 squads in the past. But he conceded 11 goals in his last 4 league games before losing his place in January. And it's a substitution that Preston wouldn't have wanted to have to make. But half an hour into the game, they're forced to change their goalkeeper.
David Lucas, capable pair of hands, that's for sure. Very, very good.
That's Murdoch, whose back pass put Moylan in such trouble in the first place, and he's lost out here to Ian Moore. West. Taylor.
Reactions, isn't it? Real reaction header from Gareth Taylor.
Preston would have felt particularly aggrieved had Taylor scored there, having just been involved in that incident with Moylan. Change of player camp for the final 15 minutes of the first half. We'll be concentrating on Burnley's Glenn Little for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. Here is Little. Cleared by Murdoch, who's looking to set Macken away. Edwards with the throw. Little losing out to Cresswell. Cleared by Davis. Gregan. Edwards. Here's McKenna. And away by Steve Davis. Rob Edwards. Good move with Macken. Healy and Cartwright are both in there. It's Smith who's got it away. Murdoch with a header. This is Weller though. Now Moore. Weller's carried on through the middle and Taylor's getting into the box as well. Cleared by McKenna for the corner.
And there's certainly more tempo to the game. More determination in both sets of players. Certainly seems to have upset Preston players more than it has the Burnley players.
Fox, Taylor, Davis, all in the area for the corner. Cook's corner. Moore sees it drift by him and lifted over by Paul Weller.
Well, it was a poor back pass. And Taylor's got every right he's entitled to. Maybe he's not entitled to slide in, but he does think that the goalkeeper's going to kick this ball against him. He keeps his feet low down on the ground. Tepi Moylan obviously more hurt than we thought. And the yellow card will suffice, but Preston lose their goalkeeper.
Well, it's an ankle injury that has seen Tepi Moylan go off to be replaced by David Lucas. Conceded the goal that Ian Moore scored for Burnley in the 3rd minute. But certainly since losing their goalkeeper, Preston have been on the back foot at a stage where they appeared to be getting back into the game. Macken. Cleared by Smith. Despite trailing on the evidence of the first half, I don't think Preston will be too discouraged by what they've seen, but just how disrupted will they be now that they've had to change their goalkeeper.
Well, they played like the home side all but for the first couple of minutes when they lost that goal when they were on top to start with. So Burnley certainly restoring lots and lots of pride in the way that they've played.
Healy, well, he kicked out there at Glenn Little. And the referee and his assistant, or certainly his assistant, would have been well placed to see it. Left by Moore for Taylor. Cleared by Gregan. Now Rankin. Cresswell under pressure from Smith.
Paul Smith will be in trouble. There's no doubt about that. Because he's gone right through the back of Richard Cresswell, but I said it's affected the Preston players more than the Burnley players, and you see just a little bit of frustration there from David Healy.
But still the only card produced by Tony Leake was for Gareth Taylor in the incident that led to Tepi Moylan going off.
We don't see players booked, and maybe he's taking the occasion into consideration. Two local sides, lots to play for as far as Preston are concerned. You'll feel aggrieved, as you do as a manager on the side. You don't see the tackles your own players make, but you see what the opposition do.
Cox winning the battle with Macken. Cleared by Smith for the throw. Alexander the taker. This is Cartwright. Murdoch underneath that hefty clearance. Taylor. Overstretched a little. Glenlift. Cresswell giving West the slip neatly. It's Cox coming back at him now. Healy challenging with Davis. Not the best clearing header by Smith. Healy. Cresswell. Cleared in the end by Little. It's Murdoch. It's good pressure this from Preston. Can they make it pay as Healy slips it through to Cartwright?
Alexander decided not to go for that, but it's neat football, it's good. Cresswell showing real ability on the left wing a few minutes ago.
Gregan. Cresswell. Murdoch. McKenna. And it was good determination by McKenna, who I don't think quite realised how well he'd done there. Just lost sight of it, having got past West. A reminder of some action to come and an extra game for you with Celtic against St Mirren. Celtic looking for the win that will clinch them the title. It's live on Sky Box Office tomorrow from 12:30. And for more details on this special box office event, call 08705 800 888. That's 08705 800 888. And FA Cup semi-final weekend, Arsenal against Tottenham, Sunday at noon, Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra. Don't miss that one. What a way for Glenn Hoddle to start his career as Tottenham manager.
It's easy going.
Taylor. Cleared by Gregan. Alexander. Macken. Away by Ball. This is Cook. Macken on the ground, and we have an angry scowl in the direction of Kevin Ball. This is McKenna. Healy just holding back, looking to stay on side. Cresswell doing likewise. And Macken still hasn't got back onto his feet.
Well, he did get clipped. Trying to hold this ball away from the Burnley defenders. There's three players round him. Kevin Ball just comes in, just hooks the ball and just catches his knee.
Well, it's been rugged and uncompromising stuff from Burnley so far, and Preston are feeling the consequences of that. They've played some constructive football without any reward, but Burnley got the early breakthrough with that Ian Moore goal. David Moyes has lost his goalkeeper already through injury. And now Macken hobbles off for the time being at least. 17 goals this season for him. He's a key player for them.
Just a wrap across the knees as he kicked that ball away. Oh, they're really pushing them back now, Burnley. Preston keeping hold of that ball. It's that one vital ingredient at the moment that they can't get, which is a goal.
Cresswell. Alexander. Cartwright. It's Alexander's ball in. Healy looks to get underneath it against West. Cresswell challenging with Davis. And it's a corner.
Well, they're not the tallest, Mack and Healy or Cresswell, but they've won their fair share of balls. In between Cox and Davis.
Macken is back on and gets straight into the 6-yard box for the corner. Just played in by Alexander, and Smith cuts it out for another.
They've got so many variations on corners, Preston. That was one of them. There's no doubt that this will be a change. Once Alexander's on the ball again.
Alexander's kick swerves in. The right side of the line from his viewpoint.
Doesn't take it that high. I think you need a player underneath marking him, because this is a good ball from Alexander. Doesn't take it very high, waits, takes it underneath the bar.
Time in play for Moore. And West keeps it in. That's a testing cross, and Taylor's header produces a good save. Ball arrives on the scene, scores his first goal for Burnley, and they're 2-0 up before half-time. What a time to score again, and it's Kevin Ball.
Well, Kevin Ball scores it, but Dean West, what about this for a cross? Moore gives him so much to do on this wide outside. Cresswell tries to close him down, but what about that for a whip? Taylor comes across, the header's great. It's down towards Davis's feet. He gets up quickly as he can, and there's Kevin Ball. The first one against the goalkeeper, the second one's mine. Thank you very much, 2-0. You've got to follow up. Kevin Ball giving more time to put it away.
Kevin Ball's first league goal in 2.5 years since he scored for Sunderland at Huddersfield. And he showed great persistence and perseverance there. Lucas did what he could to keep out Taylor's effort and Ball's initial effort. But Ball just kept on going. And that's been pretty much the way for Burnley in this first half. What they've lacked in terms of possession, they've made up for in battle and spirit. Ball has been a leader in that respect. And here's Weller, and Little is free. Now West has made a good run inside him, but he's played it right into the danger area. And Gregan has to turn it away.
Well, I think this might have been a penalty, because Moore's going to be the first one to get across this ball, because Little decides, I'm not going to take it on myself. Moore's going to make it up as quickly as possible, and at the last moment the arm just comes out from Graham Alexander, which says you're not going any further into that box. Referee doesn't see it, and out it goes for the corner.
Weller with a corner, and Lucas deals with it eventually. But it fell right in front of Cox. That could have been a real problem.
And David Lucas looks as if he's got this comfortably, and then for a second he's turning away already, drops it to the feet of Cox, but he's already turned away as well.
Well, there will be 4 minutes of stoppage time. There was that hiatus when Moylan was replaced by David Lucas. Injuries as well during the course of the game to the likes of Macken and Smith and Murdoch. Here's Gregan. Weller. It's West. Little. It's Dean West again.
They'll be delighted now, won't he? They've restored their faith and pride. You know, it's still a long way to go, still another 45. He knows they've gone out and performed. David Moyes can only be disappointed with the goals, really, that they've conceded. Apart from that, they've done very well.
Preston have won their last 2 meetings against Burnley, 2-1 at home in December. They were 3-0 victors here last year on the way to clinching the Second Division Championship. As things stand at the moment, Burnley 2-0 up against a team they trailed by 9 points before the start of the contest. Edwards, Cresswell. Weller, now Taylor, Moore!
It's a good effort. It also takes a little slight deflection off Sean Gregan, which makes it even more difficult for David Lucas. Good movement once again. And there's just a little deflection off the left foot.
It's Cresswell. Graham Alexander's ball in, and the glancing header was Cartwright's. Now Weller. Smith. False alarm there. The supporters here felt it was half time, but it's actually a booking for Rob Edwards.
Yes, he came right through Dean West. Referee Tony Leake allowed play to carry on. Good refereeing, eventually gone back to it once the ball's gone out of play.
Here is Edwards. Fine Little to West. Now it is half-time, and Burnley are halfway to repairing morale after last week's rout at Ewood Park. Ian Moore giving them the perfect start in the 3rd minute, and Kevin Ball registering his first goal for the club just before half-time to make it 2-0. Preston got the early, Burnley got the early breakthrough, and Little and West cut Preston apart, and Moore was the beneficiary. And then, despite Preston playing some constructive football, a wonderful cross from West. Taylor's initial header kept out by David Lucas, and Kevin Ball wrapping home the rebound. Lucas playing because Tepi Moylanen had to go off injured after a challenge with Gareth Taylor when things went from bad to worse for Preston. But can they recover after the break? Burnley lead 2-0 at half-time.
Definitely a foul just inside the box. He slides in there.
A big night of boxing from both sides of the Atlantic. 5 titles on the line, including from the UK. Billy Schwer in pursuit of his world title dream against Newton Villarreal, the IBO world champion. Steve Roberts makes the 3rd defense of his world crown. Then, live From Vegas, Nassim finally comes face to face with Barrera.
To become a great fighter, you have to beat great fighters.
Judgment Night, 10 p.m. tomorrow, Sky Box Office. You can order this event now for $11.95 using your digital remote control. See Channel 770 for ordering information.
Business as you've known it is history. We're in a brave new world with more information than you've ever seen. And if you're not part of it, you're part of the past. How do you unlock its potential? With EMC. EMC opens the door to all your information. It's the one place where you can see your information from every place. EMC, where information lives.
The new Volvo S60, it's not just a new shape, it's a whole new world.
No more nails means no more nails. No more nails on architraves or dado rails. No more nails on skirting boards. No more nails sticks virtually anything to anything.
Fingertip-controlled sealants from Unibond. Is this the end for sealant guns? Unibond thinks so.
Solvite extra strong wallpaper adhesive mixes in 20 seconds. Don't take risks. Stick with Solvite.
Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, somebody feed me. I feel like I've been here for days. In this blistering heat.
I'll get you something to eat, okay? If you just shut up!
Feed me. You're too late. I've wasted away. Can't feel my legs, Sal.
Well, you won't want these in, will you?
No, Sal. I'll have them. Come on.
Cover yourself, Far.
Bachelor's superb noodles. I added the B myself.
Eggcard is now giving you 0% APR on balance transfers. This is meaning that you can put your credit card balances on Eggcard and pay no interest for 6 months. Nice. You like, huh? Then apply at egg.com. Please, baby, come to us.
The MFI Easter sale is now on with 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50% off brands like Schreiber and Hygiena. Plus, we'll give you a bed free when you spend £500 on a new bedroom. Yes, it's on the house when you make it yours for less in the MFI Easter sale. Now on.
For £39, you and your partner can join RAC. A to B, we RAC to it. Call 0800 7700 99.
These days, what does this word really mean? Well, if it concerns the internet, it could mean anything. You may have to change your telephone number or telephone company. You may have to make a minimum number of local, national, or peak rate calls to qualify. You may have to enter into a long-term contract. You may have to pay call charges, charge for pound using the helpline, and so on. But that's all stopped thanks to AOL. Our free trial really won't cost you a penny. We pay all the call charges, our helpline's free, and if you don't want to start paying the subscription fee at the end of the trial, just call us, free of course, and you won't owe us a penny. So with AOL, free means free.
Molto buono, eh, guys? This is great pizza. Come on. Grandma's light-thin base. Ain't that right, Grandma? And Grandma's special sauce, made with sun-ripened tomatoes. Ain't that right, Grandma? Hey, it's Grandma's secret sauce. Ain't that right, Grandma? Grandma, nice.
A sto ragazzo piace così tanto la pizza.
An Italian with delicious sauce, just like Grandma buys from Pizza Hut. Great pizzas, great times.
Wonderful weekend here on Sky Sports. Tomorrow, Six Nations rugby from Twickenham as England take on France. That's live on Sky Sports 2 with interactive coverage available on Sky Digital. And coming up on Sunday afternoon, live on Sky Sports 2 and interactive on Sky Sports Extra, the FA Cup semi-final between Arsenal and Spurs. It's 2-0 to Burnley at half-time at Turf Moor. Last Sunday they were 2-0 down at this stage to Blackburn. But they've had a much better 45 minutes. A couple of bookings, Gareth Taylor and Rob Edwards. Mr. Leake's done pretty well though. Burnley have had less of the ball, but they've had that cut and thrust in front of goal. Ronnie Jepson is alongside Ray Wilkins this evening. Something of a contrast between tonight's derby game and the match at Ewood Park on Sunday, Ronnie.
Yeah, we'd have settled for this last week, but the lads have shown good character tonight, where we've gone about the game, and to get us 2 goals is a superb start.
How do you think David Moyes would assess this from a Preston point of view? They have had a lot of the ball, Ray.
They have, but it's what you do when you've got hold of it, Marcus. I think Burnley have defended quite well, I've got to say. This is the first goal coming up. Nice little interchange between West and Little, and Glenn's just got one thing on his mind here. He's going to get to the byline, he's going to get that ball across the face of the goal. And when you put it in that corridor in between goalkeeper and defender, very, very difficult to defend. And there's more, as sharp as attack in the opening minutes of the game. Got a little side foot finish.
It was the perfect start. They needed the confidence boost, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a great start, great ball from Glenn, but I'm really pleased for Ian Moore because he's been working his socks off the last few weeks, not getting his rewards as in goals, but you know, his commitment is superb, and I'm really pleased for the lad that he's got a goal.
This was an important deflection. I'm not sure how much Ian Cox knew about it, but it didn't go in.
No, I don't think Cox knew a lot about it, but he's managed to get a part of his body, and luckily it's deflected over the crossbar.
And this was the other really good chance for Preston in the first half.
I think it's been one of the highlights of the first half, actually, Marcus. When the lads have got there to cross the ball, they've crossed it very well. And probably none better. Oh, that's the...
What's your reading of that one, Ray?
I think that is a centre-forwards challenge. Yeah. Nothing nasty about it, but he hasn't really clobbered him with his studs, so I don't really see where there was anything malicious about it.
You go along with that, Ronnie?
Yeah, and he's pulled his foot out the way. He hasn't gone to try and do him with his studs or nothing. He's got to go for the ball. Might be getting there a little bit late, but there's nothing malicious.
Wonderful build-up to this second goal there, isn't it?
This is brilliant. This is an absolutely fantastic cross. That's Beckham-like. Absolutely brilliant cross, and there's Bawley stealing in. He doesn't get that high up the field this late in his career, but he does ever so well here. 2 fantastic saves from Dave Lucas.
Yes, he's a bit unlucky, isn't he?
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, I failed to mention Gareth Taylor's header there. It was an excellent header.
And then just before half-time, a possible penalty. Let's have another look at this one. It's not easy to see, is it?
No, it's a difficult one for the referee, to be fair. I would agree, but
I know you.
We've looked at it a couple of times. I'm still not sure if it's a penalty or not.
There seems, Ray, to be a little bit of contact at the beginning, and then he goes over of his own volition. Would you go along with that?
It's definitely not a penalty, Marcus.
Definitely not a penalty.
Definitely not. Not for me, anyway.
OK, from the horse's mouth. It's 2-0 then to Burnley at half-time. Goodness me. Well, I'm glad he's on the winning side at the moment. Wouldn't like to bump into him afterwards, otherwise. We'll see you again in a couple of minutes.
Expect better than this, wouldn't you? But it is a very poor attendance here at Selhurst Park.
The all-new.
He won 20 gold medals for his country. He holds a world record unbeaten since 1994. People say he's the greatest rower the world has ever seen. But now he's become one of life's great losers. Because after he was asked to try Flora Proactive, he lowered his LDL cholesterol level by 15%. Flora Proactive. You'll be amazed what it does. You'll be amazed who it does it for.
If you're considering a holiday to Florida, keep in mind, flights, takeoff, and land daily. There are lots of memorable dining experiences, and it's easy to make a big splash with everyone in your family. Just bring them to SeaWorld in Orlando. No one will want to miss this chance to explore new territories. Become really close friends with the locals. Or kick up their heels, especially on new Kraken, Orlando's tallest, fastest, and only floorless roller coaster. Call Virgin Holidays today at the number on your screen for complete package and ticket information to SeaWorld. Or call your local travel agent. And be sure to ask about the Adventure Passport for great savings on 2 of Florida's best theme parks. SeaWorld Orlando. Put your family's holiday over the top.
Local Bono, eh, guys? This is great pizza. Come on. Grandma's light thin base. Ain't that right, Grandma? And Grandma's special sauce made with sun-ripened tomatoes. Ain't that right, Grandma? Hey, it's Grandma's secret sauce. Ain't that right, Grandma? Grandma, nice.
Sto ragazzo piace così tanto la pizza.
The Italian with delicious sauce, just like Grandma buys from Pizza Hut. Great pizzas, great times.
Oh yes, the suit looks very well. Offset perfectly by the shirt. And that tie. Very sir.
Rather than simply sell everyone our own mortgages, investments or insurance, we now scour thousands of products from hundreds of different providers so our advisors can recommend what's best for you.
Yes, yes, yes!
No. The Marketplace at Bradford and Bingley. What's best for you, not us.
We danced, but nothing happened.
Why'd you almost kiss me?
When it comes to falling in love, not everything goes to plan.
Hi.
Hi. Jennifer Lopez, Matthew McConaughey, the wedding planner.
Tom Green here at Muscle Beach with some big, tough weightlifters. We're going to show how new right guard extreme sport works even under the most extreme conditions.
Back, stop! Oh.
Run! Oh no, the kid's gonna get you! He got ya!
See? Extreme protection against odor and wetness. Smells good.
New right guard extreme sport. Get extreme, get right guard.
Ouch.
Begin landing run troops.
The Jedi?
Kill them immediately.
Federation's gone too far this time.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. We will have revenge.
The ultimate entertainment.
There's something about this boy.
For all the family.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Tomorrow at 8 on Sky Premiere.
Shake fell over.
Very big night of World Championship boxing coming up for you tomorrow. Prince Nassim taking on Marco Antonio Barrera for the IBO World Featherweight title. The night kicks off with 4 title fights from London. Then it's off to Vegas for the American undercard. And of course the main event, Prince Nassim and Barrera. It all starts at 10 o'clock live on Sky Box Office, Sky Digital Channel 770. For more information, the number to call is 08705 800 888. That's 08705 800 888. We've had several looks at that penalty situation again. Ray's right, it wasn't a penalty. Let's rejoin Chris Kamara and Rob Hawthorne.
With instant news of a substitution, Preston taking off Jonathan Macken, and he's made way for Ian Anderson. And how do you read that one, Chris?
Well, I think it'll be 4-2-4 now. I think he's going to gamble even more. David Moyes, Anderson will play down the right wing, and McKenna will play down the left.
So, confirmation that player camp for the first 15 minutes of the second half will concentrate on David Healy, the Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. Burnley 2 goals to the good. They dropped out of the top 6 after their defeat at Preston in December. They haven't returned to that area of the First Division table since. And it may just give that outside hopes of making the playoffs a boost if they can win here, although realistically I think you'd have to say that the dreams of Stan Turner to make those end-of-season games might just be a little too distant to achieve, certainly this season.
So it's just beyond them this year, but it's the first season up, so a year of consolidation, that's important.
Who's replaced knee injury victim Jonathan Macken. McKenna, Mark Rankin.
And it's actually Lee Cartwright who's come to this right-hand side. Anderson's gone on the left wing. McKenna's in the middle with Rankin. Obviously he had his talk at half-time. Just wonder whether that's wrap across the knees Macken took from ball, whether that was the reason why he doesn't come out for the second half.
Burnley have amply demonstrated their recoveries from setbacks before. After a particularly harsh spell in the second division, they came through to get promoted. They've recovered from the 5-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest earlier in the season. And Paul Weller's going to be in trouble here. That was a challenge on Alexander that was none too pleasant.
Oh, his boot's a bit high, Paul Weller. Just a little bit too high as Graham Alexander goes for the ball. And there you can see he just wraps his toes. And Mr. Leake, you miss the ball, you pay the consequences sometimes.
Alexander the victim, and Paul Weller becoming the third player now to have a yellow card against his name in a hard-fought local derby. Davis, and away by Smith. Regan. Cox. Ball. As Cook. Now Ian Moore, who's worked really tirelessly for the cause tonight. Smith. Weller's made the run. Needs support and finds it in the form of Cook. Made room well for the cross. Although that particular cross wasn't at the level that we've got used to tonight, which has been pretty high. So Rankin with that challenge.
That's a terrible challenge from Paul Smith. His boots a lot higher than Paul Weller's. And Kevin Ball's disappointed with him. Well, he's done those tackles himself. He should know better. But it's just a little bit high, Mark Rankin, and it's a yellow card. As you can see as he's about to play it, there's the leg, it's really high, and it comes down and stamps on the toe of Paul Smith.
Smith's kick. Murdoch's header away. Davis. Cook. Away by Gregan. Paul Smith. This is Cox.
Well, they've started better, Burnley, the second half. And they're pushing Preston back with the quality of their play.
More in the 6-yard box. Cox has come forward to join Davis and Ball both in there. Header wide from Davis, although Cox may well have obstructed his view of that. Stanton and Seam have done well here this year. They've won their last 3 home games in succession anyway, and beaten just 4 times here during the course of a successful term of stabilisation at the higher level. It's Ball. They actually reached Turnant's pre-season safety target of 55 points with their last victory against Queen's Park Rangers. It's a question between now and the rest of the season as to how much further they can advance their course. Cresswell going down. Cox was the player closest to him, although officials were unconvinced.
Well, he's hoping to Cresswell. There's no more than that. He just runs into Ian Cox, hoping that he can get a penalty. As you can see, he's just sliding away.
Preston will take anything at the moment to give them a lifeline back in this game.
I think he'd have been happier, David Moyes, there, that Cresswell had to concentrate on getting the ball.
There's Anderson. Alexander. Cartwright. Here's Weller. Little. Well, a good run had been made by West, which Little spotted. Edwards frustrated his initial attempts to set him free there. Anderson setting off again. Now McKenna. Here's Edwards. Ian Anderson. Running into ball. It's Davis looking to set Ian Moore away, although Murdoch had that run covered. Nicholas doing the clean-up job on the pitch.
Just beginning to settle once again, Preston. Burnley starting to play counter-attacking football once again.
Here's Grieger. McKenna. This is Rob Edwards. There goes ball against Rankin. Healy. Ball. And a feisty challenge from him.
Well, it was there to be warned, he just swung his leg at it. Just hoping to get round the outside of David Healy. There's the ball, he's just not quick enough. Healy gets there first, and he goes.
Kevin Hall has been booked for that challenge. Just putting a blemish on the display, which has seen him score his first goal for Burnley. The drive was from Graham Alexander.
Still biting their nails, even though they've got the 2 goals in front. They're certainly much happier than they were after Sunday's drubbing to local neighbours, Blackburn.
Well, on the evidence of this display, the likes of Birmingham and West Brom and Watford, who's still to come here, won't be relishing the trip. He's certainly been very involved since he came on for the second half. That was Alexander's cross. And Healy, having seemed to want too much time on the ball, now pulls up with injury.
He just got a bang on the knee there as well. Cartwright trying the spectacular, didn't come off, fell to him.
Here's Cresswell. Now Cartwright. And it's found its way through to Ian Anderson. Well, the angle was difficult for him.
Well, you can only wonder why Dean West has left this ball, because he doesn't jump for it. He just leaves it. Here's a good ball from Cresswell over the far post, and he just leaves it there. West, the control may have slightly touched his hand, but he couldn't keep it down. Anderson, and over it goes.
Ian Anderson, who was on loan to Preston last season from Toulouse. In fact, his first away match was here, the 3-0 victory here last season. And it was a move completed during the summer. This is Rankin. Cresswell. Cox underneath it to clear. Away by West.
Well, it just looks like they're going to camp out in the Burnley half now. Preston, they're just clearing the lines at the moment, Burnley.
Van Turnen demanding his team's useful resourcefulness to just contain this continuous wave of Preston attacks. Cartwright's testing ball across, beats Edwards as well though. Kept in by Ian Anderson, who will look for Healy with a cross. Cut out though by Davis. Taylor, the Burnley player, fouled.
It's good play. When that ball comes out, you've got to hold it. And look at David now, urging his players on. He knows there's still a long way to go.
Taylor with a header on, and Alexander just gets a vital toe to that. Exact full revenge now for the 3-0 defeat they suffered here at the hands of Preston last season. 2 up already, their 7th corner of the game will be taken now by Weller. Cleared only as far as Cook. Away by Murdoch. And now the possibility of a break on. Cartwright has managed to get forward well, but he's up against 4 players, and in the end it's Cook who made the challenge that saw Cartwright go down, but no free kick.
Oh, he had to bring him down. That had to be a free kick to me. Had to be a free kick. Cook's just hung his leg up. There's no reason for Cartwright to go down. It's a brilliant run. Cook trying to get back, and of course there's the contact. He does go down a yard after, but there was contact from Paul Cook.
And now Preston do have a free kick.
Now the assistant spotted it. He brought the play right back. That's good work between the officials.
And it's a quick free kick that they've taken. And Graham Alexander sees it go over.
Well, look where the goalkeeper is to start with. That's the reason why he tries it, but he just can't keep it down. He's so unlucky. Great thinking, but just the execution's not quite right.
And a change of subject. Player cam for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. We're going to be following Paul Cook. Edwards with the back pass. Here's ball. Little. Obstructed by Edwards.
Well, it's been competitive, to say the least.
They're looking to make room for the cross. It's cut out as far as Kevin Ball, blocked by Rankin. Smith's throw. Cleared by Grieger. Cleared by West. Anderson. Smith. Controlled by Cresswell. Edwards trying to sweep it back in, but it's fallen here for McKenna. Away by Cox. McKenna's snapshot.
He's getting shouted at by his teammates there, Mark Rankin. Just settle down, take it easy. It's not that stage yet where we've got to shoot from anywhere. There's a little bit of confidence now. I've had my little go. And carry on.
Too long. Burnley is a football club that's been in the doldrums. There's a lot of potential here waiting to be unleashed, and there's certainly a feel-good factor around the place tonight. Cook tussling with Cresswell. Rankin. Well, one or two challenges flying in, and the referee felt there he had to intervene before it got out of hand.
Two very committed teams. Players who are just loving and relishing the tackle at the moment.
Regan, look at Moore working really hard again to close down the back line. Anderson. This is McKenna. Cleared by Cook. Now Edwards. Cresswell was waiting for it to land on his head. Cox ensured it didn't.
And just look how deep the Burnley players are at the moment. They really are just content to sit there and try and soak up the pressure and play on the counter-attack.
Edwards looking to pull it across. Davis reaches up to clear. Here's McKenna. Smith. Murdoch helps it forward towards Cresswell. It's Ball who's got it away. They still need some determined defending from Burnley, despite the apparent comfort of this two-goal lead. Preston are working really hard to try and reduce the arrears.
The only problem with playing deep is you're inviting pressure. Inviting the opposition onto you. You know you've got the 2 goals and they need the 3rd to finish them off, whereas you know that Preston need 1 to get themselves back in it, and then how do you change the way you're playing? Goals change games, and goals change players' attitudes.
Challenged by Weller. It's Murdoch. This is Rob Edwards. Looking to set Healy away. Cleared by Cox. Healy hasn't really been able to get into the game. Burnley have congested that area so well in the second half. He's won the corner this time though.
Cox is the problem for him at the moment. He's playing at least 5 yards behind Steve Davis, which is inviting more pressure.
Cox meets the corner. Back out to Healy from McKenna. And it's Little who intervenes. Cleared by Paul Cook. Now Moore, the furthest Burnley player forward. Little. Weller. Quickly closed down by Murdoch. As Ball. Cleared by Edwards. Well, Stan Ternant has just decided to shore things up a little. He's taking off Ian Moore, who's really run himself into the ground tonight, and he's replacing him with John Mullin.
Well, he doesn't want to chase her at the moment. He doesn't want them just to keep hitting the ball from the back.
John Mullin
wants them to pack that midfield, start playing out through the midfield and getting the ball to Gareth Taylor and then joining up with him.
Alexander's cross in, which Healy was challenging for. Cresswell hoping it'll land for him. Cox gets it away. This is McKenna. Played back in by Alexander. Cartwright looking to get there. Edwards hoping it'll land for him. And Anderson's shot in the end off the mark.
But it's not easy for Anderson, that's for sure. This ball's bouncing around in there. When he picks the ball up, he's got his back to the Burnley goal. He has to try and swivel and hit the ball in one movement. And as you can see, from the moment it leaves his boot, it's always going up.
Preston continuing to keep Burnley pushed back, and yet still haven't had the reward of a goal. Here's Murdoch. Now Anderson. Away by West. Colin Murdoch closed down by Taylor. Rankin. Edwards. Cox gets across there before Healy. Edwards throw. This is Anderson. Healy.
Not one of his better days. Look, you can see he's disappointed with himself. Knows he's better than that.
Healy, another player who gave up the opportunity of being a bit-part player in the current glories of Manchester United to join the longer-term project of Preston. A club that has come a long way in a very short space of time. Finished 15th in the second division in David Moyes' first season in charge. Since when they've been in the second division playoffs, won it. The second division, that is. And now find themselves on the brink of a possible playoff place and a possible place in the Premiership next season. This is Glenn Little. Defeat for Preston here tonight would possibly hand the initiative to Watford in the race for the playoffs. But no doubt about it, David Moyes' team, possibly along with West Brom, the surprise packages of the division this year. Cook with the ball in. There's a great record in his 3 years in charge, just 34 defeats from 141 league games coming into tonight.
It's a good record. He's got to try and work out a way now to get past this blanket defence. John Mullins gone into the left side of midfield, making it even harder now. He's playing with 4 forwards, 4-2-4. Even the centre halves are gambling to get forward.
Healy. Just breaking clear with it. And let down by the ball that was intended for Mullin. This is Alexander. Rankin. McKenna. This is Healy. Anderson. Edwards. Again, Burnley have packed that area around the edge of their own box to make it so difficult to break through. McKenna looking for a way through. Robbed though by Kevin Ball. It's Gregan. Rankin. Murdoch. Anderson. Alexander just trying to steal a march on Mullin. And here comes Cox. Looked brave as he was heading out, but he's come unstuck there. And Healy sweeps one in.
He took that one very early, David Healy. Once again, it didn't make as good a contact as he would have liked.
Here's Mark Rankine. Sean Gregan. Healy. Cartwright, it took a deflection on its way through. This is Mullin. Paul Cook. Looking for Mullin again. He's giving it back to Cook. Good hit, and Glenn Little has surely sewn it up. Only Little's second goal of the season. But that surely now ensures that Burnley can erase the memory of last week's derby defeat and gives them a derby defeat here tonight against Preston.
Well, it's good play by John Mullin and Paul Cook. The 1-2 that they played, and Cook just caresses that ball across the box. It gets a deflection off Murdoch. It comes out to Little. He drives it hard and low underneath David Lucas. Before he can get down to it, it's powerful, it's hard, it's low, and it's in the back of the net.
Well, the scoreline perhaps more comprehensive than the performance. But for Burnley, the perfect pick-me-up, and they might get more yet. Taylor looking to get on the end of Gregan's back header. Oh, he's missed! An easier chance than some they've taken tonight.
It's a poor header from Sean Gregan in the first place. He's on his way already, Gareth Taylor. He's read the situation. Once he takes the ball across Murdoch, you think it's a goal. It's past Lucas, but it's also past the post.
Here's Cook. Laid back by Weller. And they're away again. Suddenly Burnley all over their opponents. This is Taylor. To McKenna. Healy's offside.
Well, everybody wants the ball now for Burnley. Everybody wants the ball, everybody wants to get involved. People want a goal, it's all over now. They know they've got this game won.
Well, Glenn Little scored in the win against Fulham, which was only his first goal since the promotion clincher at Scunthorpe last May. Now he's set the seal on what will surely be a victory against the team that came up with them as champions.
Even afford the little tactical switch. Stanton and now Glenn Little pushes up on the right hand side, Mullin on the left. Almost a 4-3-3, come back in the 4-2-4 from Preston.
Preston have only let in 4 goals once this season. That was against Gillingham in December, their worst defeat of the campaign when they lost 4-0. Can Burnley add to their scoreline? Here's Mullin. Disappointing end to the move from a player who had a loan spell at Preston. Played 8 matches for them just after David Moyes took over. Started the revolution that's taken them from the bottom half of the second division to the top 6 of the first. Whether they'll maintain that place in the top 6 at the end of this weekend remains to be seen. Certainly the initiative could be handed to Watford. They can get the better of Crystal Palace. Back by Paul Weller. Change of play count for the final 15 minutes of the match. We'll concentrate on Richard Cresswell for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 402. Big local hero, Andy Payton, is the player who's going to come on and take the place of Gareth Taylor. Taylor, who's a Burnley fan, so the supporters here identify with him. one or two have been unhappy that he's not been able to find a regular slot in the team of late. Indeed, Stan Ternent has, believe it or not, come in for some criticism from the vocal minority here. Obviously not taking into account where Burnley have come from in his time in charge of the club.
Supporters, or should I say fans, I live for today and not for yesterday.
Here's West. Stan Ternent came out, didn't he, with that immortal quote. I hope I'm quoting him correctly when he said that some supporters expected champagne football on beer money. I wonder what they'll be toasting this victory with tonight. Cresswell.
Well, you can see a bit despondent now. Once again doing what Mark Rankin didn't want them to do, shooting from long distances. Give comfort to Burnley, and look at their back line now. They're pushed up really high. They want to play the rest of the game in the Preston half.
Here's Healy. Here to control it with his arm, but the assistant referee was right on the spot, didn't think so. Cresswell going for that reaching ball from Alexander. And it's a corner. Graham Alexander's corner. And this is held. Here's Murdoch. Edwards. Now McKenna. Rankin. Regan. Here's Alexander. And slides ball. Mullin. Glenn Little, scorer of the third Burnley goal. Weller. Cook. Away by Murdoch. This is Edwards. Cut out by Ball. McKenna. Ball attacking it positively enough. A reminder of action to come, and we've an extra match for you with the game that could clinch the Scottish Premier League title for Celtic. They're up against St Mirren. It's a special match on Sky Box Office, and for more information on that you should phone 08705 800 888 for more details. That's 08705 800 888. And on FA Cup semi-final weekend, we're at Arsenal against Tottenham. Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra Sunday from noon. Third meeting of those North London rivals in an FA Cup semi-final in 10 years. Davis. Here's Sean Gregan. Now McKenna. Healy. Away by West. Turner's team coming into tonight's game had the second worst scoring record in the division with 37 league goals, just 2 more than Grimsby. Ian Moore's first of the night was their 50th goal in all competitions this season, and they found 2 more since then through Kevin Ball and Glenn Little. And it will be a much happier weekend this for the Burnley fans than the misery of last weekend. Here's Sean Gregan. Now Graham Alexander. This is Lee Cartwright. Challenged by Little. Here's Weller. Trying to play Payton in. Dealt with though by Colin Murdoch. Here's Sean Gregan. Anderson. Cresswell and Healy both waiting in the middle. Cox comes between them to head away.
Just playing out time now. They know there's no way back for them. David there just thinking, where did it go wrong tonight? Was it the early goal?
Well, 5 of their remaining games are at home, but they're all tough ones. Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Watford, Blackburn and West Brom to visit Deepdale in the run-in. Their only away games after this are at Barnsley and at Crewe. Now they'll have to sweat on the weekend's results and hope that there are similar slips from the other playoff rivals. Dean West coming off here to be replaced by young Bradley Maylett. West, who's done a very effective job in his first league game of the season, very heavily involved in the first goal. And Maylett, whose only league start for the club was in the defeat at Preston in December, comes on for the final 5 minutes or so. Rankin, Kevin Ball going in there a bit late. Both of those two have been booked. And 1 or 2 little confrontations between Ball and Rankin tonight.
It's been a good tussle. Both giving it and taking it. No problems with having a little moan if you think you've been hard done by. But them two just get on with it.
Gregan. Healy. Well up. Maylett looking to get involved.
Well, he looks lazy at times, but there's no doubt in his ability. His ball for the first goal was magnificent. And he scored the third himself, and Glenn Little is the nationwide man of the match.
Mullin cleared by Cox. Alexander with the throw. Cook. Here's Murdoch. Edwards has got forward, but it's Davis who tidies it up. Preston really now have to do in the next week what Burnley have done this week and pick themselves up from this defeat, quickly get back on track and hope that Burnley, after this beating, can do them a few favours by beating one or two of their promotion rivals here. Although in the end it's all about concentrating on their own results in the run-in, hoping that they can hold their nerve. This will be their second defeat in 11 games. Here's Cook. It's run away from McKenna. Paul Cook. This is Cox. Murdoch. Now Rankin. Anderson. Header away by Davis. This is Glenn Little. Now Malett. Running straight into Colin Murdoch.
Oh, talk about blatant. He wasn't going to hide from the fact that he's just going to stand his ground and make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Third card collected by a Preston player. 3 bookings, 2 for Burnley, even on that score. Edwards. Two minutes of stoppage time have been indicated. 2 more minutes of prolonging the agony as far as Preston are concerned. Burnley enjoying the occasion. It's been an all too rare feat for Burnley, victory against their local rivals. Preston hadn't lost here in their last 4 visits. They'd won 3 of them. This will be a huge setback for Preston's ambitions of reaching the playoffs.
It certainly is. I think they could have been thinking that they'd had 1 foot in the playoffs if they'd have won this game tonight. Now you know that results are going to fluctuate between now and the end of the season with all the teams.
Shouldn't disguise the fact, though, that wherever these 2 teams end up this season, they've done remarkably well to consolidate. Teams newly promoted always seem to start amongst the favourites to go straight back down, even though it rarely happens these days in the First Division.
It shouldn't happen to 2 big clubs like this. It hasn't. And it's all credit to the managers and the chairman of both clubs.
Well, this is one of the oldest fixtures in the book. Preston played Burnley on the opening day of the first ever Football League season and beat them by 5 goals to 2 back in September 1888. Not quite as comprehensive tonight for Burnley, but just reward for them all the same for their hard work and determination. Just the sort of comeback the doctor ordered after Stan Turnham's team suffered that reverse at Blackburn almost a week ago.
I would have thought the memory would have lasted up until kick-off time tonight, but it's certainly been erased.
Burnley recover from the Derby Day battering at Blackburn to win a derby match of their own against Preston. It's a setback for the promotion ambitions of David Moyes' team, but he's the first to congratulate the victorious manager. And Kevin Ball, with particular reason to feel delight, he scored his first goal for the club, sandwiched in between an effort from Ian Moore and Glenn Little there, who rounded it all off with a third. Burnley's 3 goals coming against 2 different Preston goalkeepers. Tepi Moylan taken off after conceding the first to Moore after a challenge by Gareth Taylor, and then Little and Ball's goals being scored past David Lucas. So it's party time at Turf Moor tonight, in contrast to the feelings of the Burnley management, players and supporters last Sunday. And in the run into the season, what can this inspire, with plenty more big matches still to be staged here? They had the perfect start, the perfect pick-me-up really. Weston Little involved in the first goal for Ian Moore, his 3rd goal against Preston this season. And then the second, another devastating cross from the right from West. Taylor's header and Ball's initial effort repelled by Lucas before Ball netted the rebound. And then the 3rd goal to set the seal on it, Glenn Little's 2nd of the season. A memorable victory then for Burnley, a feeling they haven't experienced too often lately against Preston, but this is one that will go down in the annals for them. They've beaten Preston by 3-0.
Thank you, Rob. Now, still to come tonight on Sky Sports 1 from 10, there's more late-night wrestling in WWF Late Night Raw. On Sky Sports 2, there's Davis Cup tennis, the Netherlands against Germany. And on Sky Sports 3, it's the countdown to tomorrow night's big fight between Prince Nassim and Marcus Antonio Barrera. And of course, that fight is live on Sky Box Office. The night kicks off with 4 title fights from London, and then it's off to Vegas for the American undercard, and then the big one. Tomorrow night from 10, live on Sky Box Office, Sky Digital Channel 770. And for more information, the number to call is 08705 800 888. That's 08705 800 888. So Burnley bounced back in style 5 days after their 5-goal demolition at Blackburn. 3 goals, 3 points, and maybe the playoffs are still a possibility.